Welcome to the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards and the beginning of our celebrating 20 years of Trekzone live stream event. I am Matt Miller, we are live, and it's time to get celebrating Star Trek fan films done right over the past 13 months. We're back again to hand out prize packs for winners in categories that Mentioning Trekkie mentions and I think are deserving. It's been a journey, once again, to get to this point.
Beaming live around the world on Trekzone TV. It's the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards with Matt Miller.
And I confused everyone there by continuing to read the script. We are here and we are live. As I said, you heard Ahsoka in the background doing this from Trekzone HQ. Very much looking forward to all of today. Let's get cracking on the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards. As I say, these are the categories that Mentioning Trekkie mentions and I think are deserving. It's been a journey, as I said, getting here. There is absolutely no time wasted today. So let's dive into our first category, Best Hero Ship. Our nominees are the USS Constitution, Starfleet Legends Act 2 Smoking Gun Films, the USS Indianapolis Chaos at the Neutral Zone, Samuel Cockings, the USS Caliborn Reciprocity, Potemkin Pictures, and the USS Uderon, next in line, Uderon Infinity. A special mention to the USS Fauci from Borg Hunters, who just missed out on a top 4 placement, but the winner is the USS Uderon from Uderon Infinity. And the USS Uderon showcases the beautiful Akira-class design and fans get to enjoy the interior of the ship as well as the exterior. The nominees for Best Gag Reel are Resistance from Aaron Vanderklay, 359 David Ellis, next in line Uderon Infinity, The COVID Conundrum RB's Toy Box, and the winner for Best Gag Reel in the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards is next in line Uderon Infinity. Next in line's gag reel hit the right spot from the burp to the knocking over of the cup. It is always good to see fan films having fun, especially when it's unintentional. On to Best Villain. The nominees are the Klingons, Wartag, Potemkin Pictures, the Jem'Hadar, Battle at Velsec 2, Power 543 Productions, the Romulans, Star Trek Sirius, Steve Neal, and the Baddies from Galaxy Queen, The Wavelength. And the winner is the Romulans from Star Trek Sirius, Steve Neal. The Romulans in Star Trek Sirius destroyed the USS Drexler and were eager to deliver the USS Enterprise the same fate. The Romulan commander was just as troublesome as the one in the classic episode Balance of Terror. Well, time for our first Gender Split Award of the year, a chance to double our offering for the supporting cast and recognise more folks' work in Star Trek fan films. Our nominees are Tom Erdman as Lieutenant Commander Agent DeFalco, next in line, Uderon Infinity. MJ Johnson as Executive Officer, The Castaway, Potemkin Pictures. Mark G.H. Lum as Dr. Leland Tam, Borg Hunters, Star Trek Fan Productions International. And Blake Bryant as Commander Parsons, Mudd's Mission, The Federation Files. With a special mention to Colton Smith from Commanders of Starfleet and Matt Accra from Reciprocity for making our top 6, but there can only be one winner for Best Supporting Actor, and that is Tom Erdman as Lieutenant Commander Agent DeFalco, next in line, Uderon Infinity. Tom plays his role perfectly. We got the feeling that he was the perfect fit for Commander Harriman, especially at the end when he thrusts more power upon Lieutenant Commander DeFalco. And naturally, the next award is for Best Supporting Actress. Our nominees: Rachel McCann as Ops, Resistance, These Are the Voyages. Sarah Johnson as Ensign Gina Boyd, 359 from David Ellis. Alexandra Ivy, Commanders of Starfleet from J. Nord Productions. Cassie Martin as Callie, The Castaway, Potemkin Pictures. With a shout out to Anshke Simon from Starfleet Legends Act 1 for making our top 6. There can only be one winner, and that is Sarah Johnson as Ensign Gina Boyd, 359, David Ellis. Sarah plays the ensign role perfectly in 359, we feel. You get the feeling that she is overwhelmed by the situation that had taken place at Wolf 359 and the frantic effort to reunite with Starfleet personnel. Let's keep the good times rolling. Turning to Best Editor, our nominees are David Ellis, 359, Samuel Cockings for Falling Heroes, Dan R. Reynolds, Mudd's Mission, The Federation Files, and Steve Neal and SNG Studio for Star Trek Sirius, with Michael Stuhlberg and Randy Wren for Valhalla Calling in our top 6. The winner is David Ellis for 359. Dave entered the fan film scene and put together a great first effort. 359 was risky, but it was worth taking the chance on expanding upon an iconic storyline. We're setting a cracking pace here. Let's keep it going with the best visual effects, and our nominees are Rastislav Sfarba, The Day the Federation Stood Still, FS Film, Ross Trowbridge, Warthog, Potemkin Pictures, Power 543 Productions, Battle of Velsec 2, and Steve Neal and Matt Boardman, Star Trek Sirius from Steve Neal, with Lee Gartrell for Valhalla Calling making our top 6. The winner is Steve Neal and Matt Boardman for Star Trek Sirius. The visual effects in Sirius were excellent. The use of the Constitution class model by Chris Martin, who is also known as the Evil Genius, was great. The Romulan ship was beautiful, and we did like seeing the CGI Enterprise decks. Absolutely fantastic. Best Music returns for 2023. The nominees are Nicholas Gardner, Resistance, from These Are the Voyages, Jeff Thomas for Captain Roth's Final Message, Fetco Studios and Harris Film Productions, JCR Miller, Warthog, Potemkin Pictures, and Matt Milne, Chaos in the Neutral Zone from Samuel Cockings, with Michael Day, Carrie Olsen and Ross Stack for Reciprocity in our top 6. The winner is Nicholas Gardner, Resistance, Aaron Vanderclay. Nicholas's music in Resistance really gave the fan film that extra punch. Music can kick a film up a notch, and Nicholas' music does just that. On to Best Story now. Our nominees are David Ellis, 359, Jan Soka-Kratky, Syogil, FS Film, David Eversole for Snowbound from Potemkin Pictures, and Samuel Cockings from Fallen Heroes. With Victoria Avalon for Prime Directive in our top 6. The winner, mentioning Trekkie Mentions and I thought was most deserving for the past year, is Jan Soka-Kratky for Syogil, FS Film. This story was one that lived up to its title, and the way the film is wrapped up was an interesting solution. Go check it out after this stream. Makeup enters the Trekzone Fan Film Awards for the first time, a chance to recognise more members of the crew that work to bring our Star Trek environments to life. This was a hard category to judge, so much good work, but our top 4 nominees are Hilda Halatius, Miriam Hall, Laura Johnson, Daniel Rhodes and the entire cast from Reciprocity, Potemkin Pictures, Dagmar Singer, Silky Persh and Anchke Simon, Starfleet Legends Act 2, Smoking Gun Films, Chelsea Ross, Before the Terror, Spacegate Station, and Michelle Reynolds, Sophia Hinckley and Chris Hinckley for Mudd's Mission, The Federation Files, with Ayana Israel for Galaxy Queen making our top 6. The winner is Dagmar Singer, Silky Persh and Anchke Simon, Starfleet Legends, Act 2, Smoking Gun Films. And I will declare an apology if I have done the pronunciation poorly. But they won because it was fantastic work, especially when it comes to showing the injuries that were suffered by the crew. Let's keep going. Another new category for 2023 is Best Costume. Again, recognising more of the crew that bring the show to life. Our nominees are Lower Decks Uniforms, The Day the Federation Stood Still, FS Film, The Romulans from Commanders of Starfleet by J. Nord Productions, the Black Starfleet uniforms from Reciprocity in Potemkin Pictures, Jerry Powell for the Borg in Borg Hunters, Star Trek Fan Productions International. With the Voyager era uniforms in Resistance and First Contact era uniforms in Next in Line making our top 6, the winner is the black Starfleet uniforms from Reciprocity Potemkin Pictures. Now, these uniforms are unique. The black uniforms gave the Caliborn crew a certain level of mystique. In a way, it matches the Caliborn perfectly, as both they have that aura of power about them. The Borg were fantastic as well, but I think it's just that original creation of the black uniforms that really made it for us. So let's keep moving for another category. Returning for 2023 is the best reimagined character. Those we got to meet in canon and have an extended life in Star Trek fan films. Marcus Benowart as Captain Christopher Pike, Starfleet Legends Act 2 Smoking Gun films. David Chang as Captain Harry Kim, Borg Hunters, Star Trek Fan Productions International. Callie Green as Uhura, Escape from Magna Roma, The Federation Files. And David Whitney as Harry Mudd, Mudd's Mission, The Federation Files. The winner is, in his, wait for the cheer, Matt, in his second nomination in a row and first win, Marcus Benowart as Captain Christopher Pike, Starfleet Legends, Act 2, Smoking Gun films. Marcus played the role of Captain Pike with authority. You can see it in the way he stands and asks and talks even. And you just identify him as the leader of the captains that are with him. Onwards, we march towards Fan Film of the Year. The next category is Best Producer or Producers. Our nominees: David Ellis, 359. Matthew Lee Blackburn and Kate Blackburn, Ultimate Survival. Katie Blackburn, excuse me, Ultimate Survivals. Samuel Cockings for Fallen Heroes. Aaron Chappell and Aaron Vanderclay for Resistance. These Are the Voyages. The winner is David Ellis for 359. His efforts in producing 359 were the complete package. It looked right, it sounded right, everything made sense, and it was certainly a worthy choice for Best Producer. I'm mentioning Trekkie Mentions and Trekzone have decided the following are worthy of a nomination for Best Director. Aaron Vanderclay, Resistance, These Are the Voyages. Jan Soka Kratky, The Day the Federation Stood Still from FS Film. Samuel Cockings for Fallen Heroes. Candice Lambert from Escape from Magna Roma, The Federation Files. With Anderson Lay for Apocalypse Now and Sebastian Bitten's work on Next in Line in our top 6, there can only be one winner, and that is Aaron Vanderclay for Resistance. He is one of the best directors in the Star Trek fan film world, and Resistance was made to excellence and capped off a great trilogy of fan films. Down into the meaty end and not far off those big awards. Best Actor, we reckon these are worthy of nominations. Adam Zammalello, as Commander Tyson Zahn, 359, David Ellis. Lawrence Fleming as Captain Lecat from Honor Blade, Potemkin Pictures. Marcus Churchill as Ensign Sam Harriman, Fallen Heroes, Samuel Cockings. David Chang as Captain Harry Kim, Borg Hunters, Star Trek Fan Productions International. With Dr. Lud Yisrael in Galaxy Queen making our top 6. The winner for Best Actor in this year's Trekzone Fan Film Awards is Adam Zammalello as Commander Tyson Zahn, 359 from David Ellis. Now, Adam goes from being a commander to being the captain of the survivors of Wolf 359 as he seeks to unite everybody and get them out of their predicament, something that Starfleet had never faced on that scale before. Making up our top 4 nominations for Best Actress in the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards are Kate Elder as the captain, Resistance, These Are the Voyages. Veronica Horova, Sayajil, FS Film. Victoria Avalon as Captain Sian Gabriel, Prime Directive, Potemkin Pictures. And Emma Thorne as Ensign Laura Reed, Chaos at the Neutral Zone from Power 543 Productions. The winner for Best Actress at the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards is Emma Thorne as Ensign Laura Reed, Chaos at the Neutral Zone from Samuel Cockings. Emma gave the perfect portrayal of an enthusiastic young ensign eager to make their mark in Starfleet. A million thoughts a second. The confidence, the uncertainty, it was the complete package. Therefore, worthy of being our winner. We're into our top 3 awards now. Best Production House. Potemkin Pictures, took out this award with great fanfare last year. Can they go back to back? Well, let's find out with the nominations. They are AV Productions, FS Film, Potemkin Pictures, there they are, Power 543 Productions. With Warp 66 Studios in our top 6, there can only be one winner. That is... Yes, they can. It's Potemkin Pictures, Best Production House. Let's celebrate the final 3 awards with prize packs and interviews. Joining me now is Potemkin's creator, Randy Landers. Randy, welcome and congratulations. An incredible achievement and recognition of a huge workload throughout the last year, my friend.
Thank you so much. We appreciate this award and the recognition of all the hard work that goes into all of our productions. And I hope that everyone continues to enjoy our 10 to 12 offerings every year.
Absolutely. Now, Potemkin Pictures is a quality factory of Star Trek. You guys may not have the expensive sets of Warp 66 and Neutral Zone Studios, but the amount of quality work that you guys put out with different Starship crews and the occasional Klingon one is neatly admirable, even inspiring that anybody, for anybody, if they get the determination, can make something special on home turf.
We love being in the basement.
It is fantastic. I have seen around the basement and just an incredible experience as well to know that that's all there. You moved into this house, you mentioned it on Trekzone a few months ago, moved into this house, found the basement and just immediately knew what you were going to do with it.
I knew which house I wanted, and my wife has the upstairs and I have the downstairs. But it's
I love it.
It's wonderful that we've got so many cast members and crew members that come, and we have work days at least 1 or 2 a month, and people show up and help us make repairs and modifications and help us improve the set all the time.
And even a recent release as well. I believe a new film came out last week.
Yeah, we're constantly filming. We've got one that just came out last week. We've got one that came out the month before. We just keep on coming them out. I will tell you, this last release is so scary. You need to go watch it. It's From Where Monsters Dwell, and please be sure and check it out on the Starship Webster channel.
Absolutely. And I think we should give a little bit of credit to Billy Swanson as well. I know he's watching. Reciprocity obviously took out a swath of nominations and a couple of awards. What's it like having someone like Billy come along who clearly has a lot of enthusiasm and passion?
He is absolutely fantastic, and I love the joy that he and his cast and crew bring in here. They come in fact, they come in, they have me turn on the lights, and I go upstairs and watch NASCAR, and they're all sitting down here making Star Trek, and they produce a great film every time. It's just absolutely wonderful having them on board with us.
Well, congratulations once again, Randy. It's been a thrill to watch the constant stream of productions from your basement studio.
Thank you so much. I'll live long and prosper. And congratulations on your anniversary.
Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you again real soon. Alrighty, that's a swath of awards announced. We're down to the final 2. Strap yourselves in because we're not stopping now. Splitting the Best Fan Film Award was the easiest decision to make with a pool of over 59 films in our list. Under 10 minutes in duration are in contention for Short Fan Film of the Year. I've put together a little highlight reel of these 4 nominees. Let's play that right now. A reminder of those nominees.
life signs. Why are we...
Matthias is right. I'm not getting any life signs.
Salandra?
Nothing. Wait.
Human erythrocytes.
You mean blood?
Red blood cells.
Then just say blood, Lieutenant Commander.
I would prefer to be more precise, Commander.
Which way?
Awesome, thanks.
Blood.
Look sharp, everyone. My targeting scanner's picking up something.
There are moments which never leave you. Moments that change your life forever. As the captain of a Federation starship, I look for the unknown. But sometimes, the simplest of things can be the most dangerous. In those moments, we either fall under the weight or rise to the occasion.
All hands, prepare to launch escape pods. Emergency crews, head to your designated pods. Computer, is our trajectory holding as expected?
Negative. Gravimetric forces exceeding predicted levels. Solar collision in 13 minutes.
Damn. Plan B it is.
Breathe. Get your hands up. Let's go.
That's right, scum. Stand in the presence of your superior.
Henderson, is that you?
Hail the Empire. Yes, it's me. Simmons?
I was sent to get your request for your last meal.
Hold out your hand.
Last meal? I wasn't informed I was being executed.
You're not, but you might as well be.
The winner of Best Short Fan Film is... Hold for the applause, Matty. Commanders of Starfleet, J. Nord Productions. Unfortunately, Jeff couldn't be with us today, but it's a massive congratulations to him and the team for making one hell of a 1940s era science fiction epic set in the Star Trek universe. What I can say is that Commanders of Starfleet was the perfect tribute to the serial days of cinema or the early days of science fiction on TV. And I believe that if you stuck the film in rotation with other similar films, people would have trouble figuring out it is a modern piece of art. Congratulations, Jeff, and the entire team. Looking forward to catching up with you real soon. Well, it all comes down to this, the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film of the Year. And the nominees are, stand by for that package, Michael. Let's roll it. Captain?
Look at this. These carvings must predate the Federation itself. Ensign, grab a detailed scan of this wall and relay it back to the Explorer.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see if we can get some answers here. What do you make of this?
Looks like a pretty clear do not disturb sign. Perhaps we should listen to it.
According to the tricorder, these remains are over 2,000 years old.
Captain, before we go any further, I'd like to secure the area. There may be some sort of primitive traps.
No sign of physical trauma. Perhaps they were left to guard something. Something like that.
Captain! Sorry,
Mayday. Mayday, this is Commander Tyson Zahn of the USS Melbourne. If anyone is out there, please respond. Repeat, this is Commander Tyson Zahn of the USS Melbourne. If anyone is out there, please respond.
I'm here! I'm here!
I see that. And you are?
Boyd. Ensign Gina Boyd, sir.
Commander Zahn, what's your duty assignment, Ensign?
3rd Shift Tactical Officer on the Kyushu.
Ops on the Melbourne.
The Melbourne? How bad?
My escape pod sensors went out, so I can't tell you what the damage is, but I wouldn't be out here if it looked like she was going to survive. The Kyushu?
The port nacelle blew just as my pod was launched. I saw the ship lose power right before the shockwave hit. I think I was unconscious for a while. When I came to, I set course for the Kyushu's last known position, but no sign of her here.
Kapitánův osobní deník. USS Camelot prochází údržbou po konci své druhé 5leté mise. Náš poslední úkol v rámci programu hledání potenciálně zapomenutých technologií skončil úspěchem. V troskách mocné říše Tkon jsme nalezli krystalický pohon, umožňující ve zlomku vteřiny překonávat tisíce světelných let. Až se na loď vrátí posádka, budeme mít tu čest ho prvně vyzkoušet. Já však vím, co musím udělat.
Pozor, akvamarínový poplach. Krystalický pohon aktivován. Souřadnice skoku, Magellanovo mračno.
Co se děje? Počítači, zruš poplach a vypni motory. Autorizace Lens 47DA.
Nelze splnit.
To bych se na to...
Vyšší programování. Transfer za 5.
My name is Ensign Laura Reed, Science Officer on the USS Indianapolis. I actually graduated 4 months ago. Didn't imagine I'd be talking to Memory Alpha so quickly. Hi, Mom. Hi, Eric. Look, it's your famous sister.
The Indianapolis was tasked with continuing research on a red giant in the Rentax system. The Vigilance had made the discovery, but with other assignments needing a Nebula class's attention, the Indianapolis took over.
Wherever the best research is, I'm there. But when Commander Sudan said it was near the neutral zone, I got nervous. My ancestor, Malcolm Reed, served on the NX-01, fought in the war. After reading about Starfleet's new encounters with the Romulans in the last few years, I would have loved to be on the other side of the quadrant, but we were sent right into the action.
And the winner for Best Fan Film of the Year at the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards is... Hold for the applause, Matty. 359, David Ellis. Congratulations, David. Have I got you there? Am I too quick for everybody? Congratulations, David.
Thanks, Matt.
What an epic sweep, really, of the awards. 359 was our choice for Best Fan Film. It adds to the famous Battle of Wolf 359 that has enchanted Star Trek fans for many years. Voyager and Deep Space Nine opened the door for the subject of battle survivors, and 359 gave it new depth because you always wondered what happened after Starfleet personnel abandoned ship, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I am absolutely blown away. I'm just so happy, and I'm glad that the actors are recognized as well, because it was great to pull this off. It was the first film I had made in probably 30 years, and just coming back to it, and everything just came together, and it was so much fun to make. It was just so great, and I am beyond honored.
Well, it's swept our awards, 5 wins for 359, well-deserved. Chuck and I try and share the love, as it were, with the awards, but just like last year with Yorktown, A Time to Heal, and this year with 359, there is always one I find that just cuts through for the whole year and is just the talking point and the talking point of the year in our niche of a niche.
Yeah, and it was, and I got to say, it was kind of surreal watching it on a Zoom, because that's kind of how the idea came about, as everybody being on Zoom calls. So seeing Zoom windows and Zoom windows, it was kind of surreal.
Yeah, absolutely. Loving the Trekzone green room there, running off Zoom. We've had Randy. We're going to have Trekzone conversations throughout the morning as well. It's a thrill to have everyone in, and this is a fantastic way, as I just look off in the distance as Ahsoka tries to eat the butter croissants that are on the craft table. Thankfully, the control room caught that. But look, it is fantastic. We spoke a couple of months ago. Is there plans for another film from you?
I've got a number of other ideas kind of on the burner, but I'm trying to decide just how ambitious I want to be. There's everything from a couple of more green screen ideas that I've got, all the way up to something that would require a lot of sets and a lot of people and a lot of singing and dancing and music. So I won't say any more than that, but always wanted to do a musical.
I love it. Just for people that haven't seen our chat from earlier, just talk us through the production of 359 and where that idea came from. As you said, it was from Zoom calls and the COVID era, but yeah, just kind of give us that background if you can.
Well, I had written a TOS era script and was ready to go down to neutral zone in Georgia and shoot it right before the pandemic hit. And everything got shut down, and we, couldn't do it. And I was sitting around thinking, what can I do without having all the actors in one place? And I came up with the idea of, Zoom calls, because we were all on Zoom calls at that point. And I wrote, I was like, well, what do I set? How do I set this up as a Star Trek story? And I immediately thought of Wolf 359 and people who were in individual escape pods trying to work together while they're not in the same place, which is what we were all doing at that point. And the idea just kind of sprung from there. The script kind of came out fully formed. I came up with the idea and wrote it in probably the course of a couple of weeks. But then I'm somebody who goes and tweaks things forever. So by the time I tweaked everything, and by the time I got all the equipment I needed to do it, we ended up not shooting it over Zoom or shooting it remotely. The pandemic restrictions had lifted somewhat, and we just got everybody together in my garage and shot it there, which in retrospect was probably a lot easier. It was hard enough to edit things together when you had somebody off camera reading the lines and had to fix the pacing, but to have everybody doing it individually and have to do that, it would have been a lot harder. So I think it was in this one case, procrastination was a good thing.
Absolutely. Well, David, we're fast running out of time for the Fan Film Awards, so I'll say congratulations once again. Thanks for beaming in this morning and sitting in the green room and waiting for this moment. Congratulations again on 5 wins. Looking forward to keeping in touch.
Thanks, Matt, and congrats to Trekzone as well. On 20 years, that is really awesome. And congrats to everybody else who won as well. A lot of great competition.
Absolutely, Dave. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, mate, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, thanks.
Awesome. Well, that is the way MTM and I decided the cookie would crumble for each of our 19 categories this year. A huge effort by Chuck to manually keep that spreadsheet up to date throughout the last 13 months. Prize packs for Best Production House, Best Short Fan Film and Best Fan Film will be dispatched as soon as possible, with the crystal trophies carefully wrapped with a packet of Tim Tams and an Aussie token for their intercontinental voyage to their destinations. There were a couple of films we missed this year due to that manual entering process. And in the case of Avalon Productions, they weren't even considered, as we desired to stay as far away from the Axanar interlude sphere of influence as possible after the interlude withdrawal drama last year brought a lot of stress, strain and public humiliation. And we did not wish to face that again. After we had received a letter from the 19 fan film creators, Josh Irwin was offered the opportunity for his films to be in the honour roll, which was accepted. And in fact, the past few weeks have reminded me of a time just after the fan film guidelines dropped. I celebrated them as a levelling of the playing field, a way for more productions to share the love rather than two massive ones and a bunch of little regarded instances. 6 months after the guidelines, I met Aaron Vanderklay and introduced him to a worldwide audience and repeatedly checked in on his progress as he morphed his production into a series banner of These Are the Voyages. I even flew to Perth to see his production in action at the fall of Starbase One. Over the course of 6 years, I met many fan film producers, all of whom shared the goal of telling stories in the Star Trek universe. You just heard from Randy and Dave. But unfortunately, along the way, politics crept in and productions moved closer and closer together, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They shared resources, ideas and characters. Accent art plays a role here. Its sycophants spread amongst the community and influenced decisions and opinions. One sycophant in particular would spend an inordinate amount of time attempting to destroy me and these awards. That individual clearly spreads more love than I, and he was able to rally 18 other individuals together to issue a series of editorial demands a week after I sent out offers of nominations and a mere 24 hours before the deadline to accept. Once again, for the second year in a row, the individual attempted to torpedo our efforts at celebrating Star Trek fan films. But where he failed last year, he gathered friends and attempted a much more direct approach. Two parties rejected our nominations as a result, but we, once again, prevailed. We put on a damn fine show over the past 40 minutes, with months of prep work amounting to Trekzone's Fan Film Awards, achieving another rousing success. We tried Kumbaya last year and got kicked in the nuts. We tried steering away from that situation and still got kicked in the nuts. That individual's actions don't surprise me. He is, after all, like a force of nature. Nothing you can do to stop it, so you either steer clear or you turn your bow into the wake and tackle it head on. His ability to generate massive controversy behind the scenes, to form alliances and to work to undermine this channel are evidence of the type of person he is, and by extension, the type of people who would side with him. It certainly would have been nice to know that the Hornet's Nest had been kicked over for apparently months beforehand. But the representative chosen to discuss the situation with me wasn't able to convey the truth effectively, and another attempt was only made just mere minutes before the demand letter was received. Many have said that they did not want to hurt my feelings, that they didn't want to anger me, or indeed even know how to approach me. But what kind of friend who knows of that individual's efforts to undermine me allows that individual to influence their decision-making and allows some perceived threat to simmer away deep in the background and do nothing? What kind of friend joins a group chat whose sole purpose is to destroy months of our effort to give them prize packs and recognition? Funnily enough, those who run their own race have nothing but positive things to say about Trekzone and mentioning Trekkie Mentions, and they are whom we have been here for today. My subtle approach at tackling this situation over the past 4 weeks has not been understood. So let me be blunt. For now, I'm stepping away from Star Trek fan films. The Fan Film Awards were my last hurrah. There will be no monthly updates, no check-ins on the productions whom I discovered, no updates from prolific producers, and definitely no appearances in any fan films. You want to work with that individual, you go right ahead, but I'm out. I don't support bullying or strong-arming. If you do, then this little niche of a niche isn't for me after all. I'll be over here receiving press invites from Paramount Plus, receiving embargoed media releases from Australia's science agency, and producing a new independent sci-fi series. If you've seen 5 News, you'll have a leg up on where we're heading. Well, next, in the celebrating 20 years of Trekzone live stream, Lee Sargent is beaming in to catch up on Talkin' Trek since he was last here 2 years ago.